This psychologist said something about the hidden danger behind forgiving too soon. And there's an unhealthy truth behind it that I found really relatable. In this video, I'll talk about how forgiveness, in some cases, isn't actually maturity. Number two, how having this habit of blind forgiveness can make you an easy target for people to pick on, and why you don't know how to defend yourself. And then three, how it can cause bad habits like overeating, drinking, using drugs, and anger outbursts. For a long time, I was lost, and I felt like a loser for not being able to stand up for myself, be productive, and an overall better version of myself. So I read a lot, probably around, most likely more than 50 plus books on psychology. And the ideas I found from this video that was made from the psychologist I was talking about can help you get rid of the weights from the past that are dragging you back and taking your attention off from building your future. If you want to see how I'm building my life and finally getting consistent and seeing results in the real world, then subscribe, because I'll be documenting what I do from now on and teaching you what I found useful and what you'll probably find useful too. Let's get on with the video. Everyone says forgiveness is the key to healing. It's supposed to make you stronger, help you move on. But for me, forgiveness wasn't healing, it was survival. And it nearly destroyed me. As a kid, I couldn't be sad, I couldn't be angry. If I cried, if I confronted my parents, I'd get told boys don't cry. I'd get met with sarcastic responses like, "Oh, that's such a big problem." Or I'm told that other kids in poorer countries have worse problems than me, so I should be grateful. And that last one was a repeated punch in the gut, because that didn't help me feel better. It's just telling me that I'm acting like a baby and should toughen up. So after all that, I got the message that being my real self and discussing how I actually felt wasn't a safe thing to do. So I learned to swallow my feelings. I fawned. I try to make everyone laugh, try to be the good kid, never causing any problems. And every time it became too much for me to hold in, I ate a lot of food because food was the only comfort I had. Most people think forgiveness is maturity, but the kind I learned wasn't real forgiveness. It was desperation. I had to forgive my parents because I was emotionally and financially dependent on them. They did things like scolding me when I tried to stand up for myself. They got nasty looks, said rude and mean things. Back then, I was a little kid. I didn't know any better. So I thought they should know everything, and I just followed their lead. And because I followed their lead, it felt wrong. Whenever they would always dismiss me and how I really felt, it made me think that I was the problem, even though any normal human would have the feelings I had. I couldn't say to them that how they acted actually hurted me, and I wouldn't feel safe enough to do it because they would always dismiss me, and I'd feel rejected, and sometimes I'd even get ignored. And it felt like the people that were supposed to love me and accept me weren't going to do that and leave me behind. So I felt like I had to conform to what they wanted. When you're forced to forgive before you can even feel your pain, you split off from yourself. You lose that part of you that knows you're being mistreated. And like me, you never practice how to stand up for yourself. Explaining how you felt and going against the flow of another person meant rejection. So you learn that it's better to sit down, shut up, and take it. So later, when someone hurts you, your inner alarm doesn't go off. You stay quiet and you let it happen because you were trained to believe that your feelings don't matter. So here's the other thing I was going to be. So here's the part of the video where I talk about bad habits. On the surface, you see overeating, drinking, drugs, and anger outburst. But under the water, there's a huge iceberg. Rage that has never been in a safe place, sadness you weren't allowed to show, and the constant disappointment of parents who couldn't show up emotionally. All that pain was frozen under years of forced forgiveness, just wanting to break loose. It's all that pressure building up, constantly forgiving, letting them hit you like an emotional punching bag. And all that pressure needs to escape somehow. You want to feel better, so you go for instant gratification like video games, binges on food, or drinking till you black out. Real healing isn't skipping the bitterness part. And I think, like most people, when you realize what really happened to you in your childhood and you start putting the pieces together, you start to feel bitter because you feel like you were cheated and you didn't really get what you needed to set up to have that strong foundation in life. And when you're around them, you might feel guilty for feeling bitter. And it's like you're not really healing. But the But real healing isn't skipping the bitterness. It's feeling it. It's grieving what you lost, the childhood safety, the love you deserved. Only when you let that pain come up, process it, let it melt, do you stop living in survival mode. You stop passing the hurt onto yourself or others. Another bonus topic I want to talk about is when people say to have empathy for your parents because they had it hard. They had hard lives too. Sure, hurt people do hurt other people, but healing didn't start for me until I learned to have empathy for myself, to stop pushing down my anger and sadness, and finally say to myself that what happened to me was not okay. I had to learn to find that empathy for myself because before I used to think you're being a baby, just control yourself and your anger and your outbursts. But having empathy for yourself can help you heal from within. I told myself what I actually needed to hear. It's okay to be angry, and it's okay to be sad about things. It's your right to feel that way. Having your basic needs met doesn't cancel out the emotional hurt you went through. If you grow up like me, forgiveness won't fix you. It's just covering up your pain. You don't need a rush to forgive. You need to feel, to let that part of you finally speak so you can live free, not just survive.